Hey internet's crazy's back. The men in white took me away, but I escaped, and during that time I was helping someone out with their channel stuff, which they probably don't want me to go into. But anyway, gave me a great idea. How do you start a YouTube channel? And I don't mean the channel part, but more the technical aspects that aren't really discussed, like, you know, microphones, recordings, editing, what have you. So I'm throwing this together, and like I said, it's the reboot, so more videos to come after this, and here we go. Oh, and just as a quick note, the background is going to be gameplay of Destiny with some screenshots of different stuff popping up. So, yeah, just as a heads up. So with that all out of the way, let's start with microphones, because I'm guessing if you're watching this video, you're going to be doing some kind of vocal, voice, what have yous, whether it be podcasting or just voiceovers. I don't know, you do whatever you want, I don't judge. But yeah, let's start with microphones. So right now I'm using a Blue Yeti. They're, I mean, it depends on how you look at it. I think they're a little bit more expensive for what most people use them for, but it is a USB plug and play. It works, cool, you know, you don't have to think about it. But on the other hand, you could get something like a lavalier mic, and depending on which one, it's going to be a lot cheaper, and for just straight voice, you're going to get equal results. Same for like a gaming headset or something. I think it matters more on how you're processing the audio when it relates to something like this than it does the mic itself, because it's speech. Speech at this point, not too hard to record. I mean, a cell phone records speech pretty dang good. So, I mean, I wouldn't get too wrapped around that aspect. But to give an example, I use a program outside of any microphone I use called Voicemeeter Banana. And it does some audio processing on its own with its voice to make your voice sound more natural, I think. To give an example, right now I'm speaking with Voicemeeter Banana on a Blue Yeti, and here I'll switch over to just the Blue Yeti. Okay, and this is my voice straight from my mouth to the microphone. And as you can see, it's a little bit of a difference, because now you're not getting that processing to it, so it's probably sounding a little bit flatter, tinny, what have you. And again, I'm not doing any editing to the audio at all. This is all straight 100% microphone or Voicemeeter Banana. Nothing else or in between. Okay, and now I'm speaking through the Audio-Technica ATR-3350, I think that's an I, maybe a 1S, omnidirection. It's on the screen. It's a lavalier mic. It's $30 USD. Can even plug into a smartphone. You get the idea. But this is it going through Voicemeeter. Okay, and this is the same mic, but without Voicemeeter. It's going straight, again, just through the mic and into the computer. With the exception of I have acoustic echo cancellation on through Windows, and that is because this mic is very sensitive and likes to pick up pretty much everything around it, unless that's turned on. So just a heads up. But I mean, $30 can even use on your smartphone. Really not bad at all. This is the audio coming through my Astro A40 headset, and then being processed by Voicemeeter Banana, otherwise connected by USB into the computer to kind of give you an idea. Okay, and this is the audio from that exact same headset, the A40s, but this time without Banana. It's going just kind of straight into the mic, into the computer through the USB, and nothing else is being done to it. So I hope that gives you a good idea on the differences of having audio processed versus not. Okay, and now we're back to the Blue Yeti, again going through Banana because I like to hear it like that because it doesn't sound as weird to me. But I hope that those all gave you kind of an example of just, like I said, what audio processing can do. And it's just a simple program. It runs in the background. I mean, it's like 4 clicks to set up. It's a few clicks to set up. It's really not scary at all, or as scary as it looks. And there's plenty of channels on YouTube that go over the complete ins and out. It's a really powerful program, but it's also, I forgot to mention, it's donationware. So if you don't have the funds kind of like right up front, download it, give it a shot. If you like it and you later have a couple bucks, donate to them. I mean, they're doing a pretty awesome thing there. Besides that, though, something I don't have to give an example of, which I do think does make a bit of a difference as far as your audio would go, is an XLR setup. And I'm hoping to do that. And kind of to wrap up the whole microphone thing is if I could have gone back and done it all again, I honestly would have gotten an audio processing unit deal thing and just gotten an XLR mic. And I'm going to throw up 2 audio processors that come, from what I understand, pretty highly recommended. Again, I don't have them just yet. I'm looking at them. And then 2 mics, which when you factor it all in, will end up pretty much costing the same as a Blue Yeti if you already had the funds and were looking at it, but will give you upgradability later down the road because XLR is an actual professional audio connection through systems. I mean, the sky then becomes the limit because I know like this headset that I'm going to throw up right now is one that I'm looking at, and I know a lot of big people use it to great effect, like CNNers and such. So just to give you some other ideas, but I'm not there yet. Just again, ideas. And as for those 2 mics that I threw up, and I'll throw them up again, those 2, you can actually go to a channel. His channel is called Podcastage. I'll link below, but he does a lot of mic reviews and such, so you can get even more. You can get even more ideas, better information on the kind of fine details on microphones and whatnot. But I hope that was all helpful. So let's move on now before we take too long on this. Oh, and actually real quickly, for my Blue Yeti, something I would recommend for those who might already have it and are kind of frustrated with how much noise it picks up through the bass, if you still have the bass it comes with and whatnot, I actually really recommend this stand that I'm putting up, and kind of just as an extra filter to help kind of filter out those pops. This pop filter thing, I have both of those. I use both of them. I think they're really well priced for what you're getting, and they've been working really great for me. I mean, I have it on a swivel where you can move the Blue Yeti out of your way when you're not using it, and then kind of back into your workspace when you need it. So just for those who already made the leap to the Yeti. Moving past microphones, though, the next thing you're probably going to want to be, or you might already be looking into, is if you're doing a gameplay channel at least, is capture cards. And that one's been a rough one for me simply because I currently have an Elgato HD 60 Pro, and as far as what it's picking up and how graphically, I don't know, the compression, there we go, the compression on it, it records lovely. I mean, it's, if you have it sitting at the 60 megabits per second and all that, I mean, it's pretty much, from what I can tell, a 1-to-1, and it goes up to 60 FPS, so you can even record some PlayStation 4 Pro or Xbox One X or anything running in 60 FPS, even PC games. It takes a lot of stress off your system because it has a built-in processor or processing chip, processing something, so it's doing all the processing. And I mean, you're not going to see those huge like CPU spikes or GPU spikes or anything like that trying to record, even, you know, just whatever you're trying to record. On the other hand, I have had an issue with it now after a few updates where it's just not wanting to pick up my voice correctly. Like, it clips really bad. Well, not clips, but there's some like, it sounds like the bit rates are off, but they're not. I've gone over it 100 million times. I've sent it in to Elgato, and I'm at my wit's end with the card. I mean, it still picks up the gameplay fine, but I'm having to use Audacity to record my voice, which is a free program. I will put a link down below in the description on that as well. The other recommendation I would say, if you're looking for an internal capture card, is the AverMedia Live Gamer HD 2. I am not reading all of that. That is crazy amount to read, but I've heard great things from that as well as far as internal. I mean, as far as external, you could look at any company. They both have external capturing devices. I liked the kind of lag-free pass-through that they both offer being internal, but it's going to be up to you, and it's going to be whatever your budget allows. And I know Elgato's also looking to come up with a 4K capture card that they're supposed to be coming out with at some point, but I'm still kind of iffy because, like I said, that audio bug with the current software that they've been promising is going to be fixed for like a year now, it still isn't. I don't know how I feel about that. And like I said, I've been through support, still no fix. I don't know what to do, but there are workarounds to get it done. So, I mean, if you get a good deal on it, pick it up. The gameplay is going to be, like I said, excellent. So wouldn't even stress about that. And then the kind of last piece to the puzzle, unless I'm forgetting something. No, I have two more things, which is audio dampening for your room. And then of course, editing your, editing your voice, video, whatever have you that you're doing. So let's do sound dampening. There are a ton of options and I have researched them. Keep in mind, I'm not an audio engineer. So what I'm saying, I know works from experience for myself, but it's might not work for everyone. Everyone's a little bit different, but I just want to, again, it's kind of keeping it all budget oriented as much as it can be, because capturing, YouTubing, streaming, what have you already is a little pricey to start with. So with that in mind though, I actually really like and recommend, I had a friend that recommended these to me and they've been working great. They're in the name, cheap moving boxes. Oh wait, that's weird. They're blankets for moving stuff. Normally you wrap them around whatever it is that you don't want to be damaged, and they take the abuse so it doesn't have to. I'd say they're fairly thin, but the thing is you can order a pack of 12, and I know someone's shaking their head that this is silly. Just hear me out. You can order a pack of 12. They go on sale for like, they're normally 60, but I've seen them go on sale for like 40, 45 sometimes for 12 of them. They are huge, and with 12, you can double them up in a room. Like I have my computer and recording and all that in a corner of the room with my desk and computer monitors and whatnot facing back away from me. And in this corner, all of the walling around me and beside me are doubled up with these blankets, and the echoes, from recording, the echoes behind me when I'm speaking and whatnot, it went from I don't know, kind of like a tap to a thud. Sounds weird, but it does make a difference because they are absorbing the sound. Now, some people are going to say, oh, well, no, I'll just go order those foam squares or many other things that you see other popular, famous, what have you, YouTubers doing. And the thing is those work, but they only really work well when the wall behind them is already kind of has some kind of maybe fabric or something on it to help deaden the noise, because those are more made to absorb the noise. I know it sounds kind of strange, but again, this is just from my own experimenting and trying to figure out what works practically speaking, because they also have audio blankets and things, but those things sometimes are a couple $100 for, just this tiny little thing, and it's just really thick fabric. It's, again, if you have the money for it, go for it. Make your room as sound deadened as possible. Awesome. I'm not quite there yet, so like I said, I know these help. They're not going to eliminate everything, but they do help quite a bit to just make your voice and audio just seem a little bit more more professional. Okay, so let's say you have the mic, you have your headset, you have your recording system, you have everything set up, everything's ready to go. You recorded, and you're like, yeah, you're happy. It's a good feeling. Well, at least I think so. I think it's awesome. But you want to kind of mix it all together and get it thrown up. What now? So a lot of people will say, go get the monthly subscription of Adobe Premiere. It's an excellent program. I love it. You can do practically anything. The sky's the limit with that program. But it's not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. Even doing monthly, last time I checked, if I remember right, it was $20 a month. that adds up. Is what I'd recommend. I mean, really is just, odds are, if you're going to be doing gameplay recordings, you already have a Steam account. Go on Steam, look up Vegas. It's no longer Sony Vegas. And just go on Steam and do a search for Vegas Movie Studio 14. I personally ended up with Vegas Movie Studio 13 Platinum. I'd probably say go Platinum or higher. But you'll see sales, I mean, pretty much, definitely summer and winter sales, but every here and there, you'll see them on sale. The Platinum versions, I've seen them drop as low as, I want to say like $25, $30. And that's when I picked it up. And with what you're getting for what you're paying, it's not bad at all. I know you've been eyeing that other game, but just put it, just wait, just for a moment. Get this. It's great and very straightforward, very simple editing tool, and it'll do everything you need it to, honestly. And there is so many tutorials on YouTube on how to use it. The only thing that kind of frustrates me is it doesn't make better use of your GPU. But again, I got it for $30 and, well, 25, 30, I can't remember. It was one of those two. And I mean, it's just kind of a pain that I go with because it does everything else I ask it to and it renders pretty quickly. So, yeah. And if you can spend the money, I would say try to get the pro version. I've seen it go as much as 50-60% off as well. So you're dropping it from that $400 some price down to like $150-$200, which is a steal again for everything you're getting with these programs. And it is a one-time charge, so you don't have to worry about how much it's adding up over time. And being through Steam, you're going to get the updates as long as you have it, and it's on your Steam account, so you're going to have it. Not a big warrior deal. And with that, I think we have everything covered because mic, software to process mic audio. Let me see. And of course, different options you can take. Something to capture your gameplay with if you're doing that. Something to edit your videos with. Oh, and then sound dampening, of course, just to help those acoustics out just a pinch. Oh, and then, of course, the last thing you can always look into getting is Photoshop, just to be able to edit your thumbnails. Maybe you want to edit some images to throw in your videos. Vegas Movie Studio is pretty expansive on being able to edit things in it already, but never hurts to have something dedicated to image photoshopping, if you will. So that's always a thing. And your thumbnails. Oh, and I knew I was forgetting something. Technically, two other things I'll touch on just real quick. The first is, I know it's really common now for people to show their faces in streams or Let's Plays or what have you. And I think the easiest, most straightforward one that I've come across for a camera like that is the Logitech series, specifically the C920 and 922X. Depending on your budget and what you're looking for, I'll go ahead and throw the 922X on, just so you can see it. But the one that says webcam, that is the normal 920. It's cheaper, but it's also showing to be out of stock on Amazon right now. So, and those are really great. They're pretty plug and play. I think the default Logitech software leaves a lot to be desired. But if you're using something like the Elgato software or something, you can use that instead of the Logitech software and kind of make a workaround. So just a heads up on that. And the last thing is, if you just want to do straight PC gaming, no capture cards or anything like that, you have pretty beast system, I would recommend taking a look at OBS. It's a software that's free, and I'll link that down as well. But it's completely free and it's really robust. They're always adding new features. And it can do, from what I've seen, pretty much anything you need it to do when it comes to streaming and recording. But just keep in mind, it does use system resources, so you'll need a pretty beastly computer to get, really high quality video. But for streaming, I think it'll do you okay. It's up to you, but I mean, check it out. There's plenty of tutorials. The community on it is stellar, and they're always willing to help out when you run into some issues. So just those two last things, and I think we should be pretty well covered. Yeah, and that's all I really got for this video. I'm sorry it's not super in-depth, but it's just kind of where I'm at right now, because I'm still trying to figure many things out, but I don't know, it's always nice when you figure something else to share it, because we all start at the same place with many things, but it's just nice to kind of have information to bounce back and forth on. And speaking of, if maybe you figured even more so out than myself, please, by all means, share. It'd be really great, because I mean, the internet is an awesome place with so much information. So if you did want more information than I'd provided, I mean, just do a search on YouTube or Google. I'm sure there's tons of information out there. But as I figure it out, I'll definitely share, and I hope you enjoy. And till the next video, which I hope you all are looking forward to, just want to say, as always, be awesome and take care.